It's like a pizza crunch without the batter. It's like the wood juice without the water. You'll never get the knickers I found. What the fucking trance? Premeditated batter. Premeditated batter.
How we doing, people? Welcome back to another episode of Premeditated Patter with me, your sexy host, Hawaii Fivo. It's been a mad week. A really mad week. Let me just get right into it. 2 words. Russell Brand. What's going on? What I'm going to say next, right? I'm going to be careful about my choice of words, right? What I'm going to say next is based on fact. I'm just going to base this on facts and then accusations. The facts are, there's been some serious allegations about Russell Brand came out off the back of a Channel 4 Dispatches documentary. If you haven't seen it, go and check it out. You can see it on the All 4 app, I'm sure it is. Serious allegations making him out he's committed various sexual assaults, rapes, many heinous crimes. There's been victims come forward. Some of them have been granted anonymity. Some haven't. They've come over. You've even had Daniel Sloss, the comedian. He came over and spoke on it. And apparently, in regards to Russell Brand, this is a long-running thing. It wasn't just an isolated incident or a couple of incidents. This is meant to have been going on quite a long time. And they highlight quite a lot of his stand-up in that, because that was his character, that was his gimmick. Or was it his gimmick? It was more like his personality. He was a sex pest, and he was a self-admitted sex addict. He did admit that, and a drug addict. I'm not saying that's an excuse if these accusations are true, but within that coming out, I think that came out last Saturday, that his YouTube channel has been demonetised, his tour's been cancelled. I think when he working on a book, something, basically his career's been fucking destroyed, been decimated. And right now you've got a lot of division, as you always do. You get fucking division with everything. You know what I mean? You've got people on one side and the other, and you get a lot of people on the side of Russell Brand, because in the past year, if he's been following Russell Brand stuff, he's been on various podcasts, he's been doing his own solo podcast. He's left Hollywood, and he's making a lot of content pointing out how the elites are basically fucking bleeding the country, how with all the COVID stuff, about like fucking how all this money was going here and there. And don't get me wrong, a lot of the stuff he was saying was bang on. I was right into it, and right now, I'm going to lay this clear. The stuff he was saying, he'd done a lot of research, and bravo to somebody for coming out and saying that. And a lot of people were saying, oh, well, you're next, Russell, because they talk about how Andrew Tate, he's taught about the Matrix, and I do quote unquote because I'm just quoting him, the Matrix and all that, and how basically they're kind of singing for the same hymn sheet to a degree. And I agree with a lot of the stuff they're saying, don't get me wrong, but now these allegations have came out, it's kind of left a bad taste in the mouth in that sense. And what we're left with, right? We're left with 2 options here. Both of them are equally terrible. Either Russell Brand has been hitting the nail on the head with the stuff he's been coming out with in the past year. He's been shining a light on all the dodgy goings on by the elite, the upper class, who are intent on creating a new world order and enslaving humanity. And he's been kicking up that much, I think. They've orchestrated this plot to discredit him. That is one of the options. Or the other option is he's a sexual predator. He's preding women, been going with 16-year-olds, was still in school whilst he was 30. Committed numerous sexual assaults, rapes, all through his career. And this past year, has been a kind of smoke screen, because he's been planning ahead, because he thought his time was coming to an end. So this was almost like a game of chess where he moved his pawns to the front to protect his king. I don't know. What I can say for sure, right, there's definitely allegations, that's a fact. Are they true? I don't know. There's a lot of them. Apparently Channel 4 Dispatches has went in depth, but I'll be basing this off the back of one documentary. As far as I know, aye. And don't get me wrong, I'm not saying I believe anybody here. In my God's honest opinion, I hope that the allegations are untrue. I hope, because if they are to be true, that means many, many women have been victim to this guy, and they haven't been taken seriously. They've been too scared to come forward, and now they are the subject of scrutiny by a lot of people supporting Russell Brand. That is a worse alternative than if somebody's made this up, in my opinion. But if that's, I'm not saying either or's true. Jamesy Gardner, I'll quote him, Jamesy Cotter on TikTok, go and check him out. He's a really well-read guy. He does his research, and he's on the side of Russell Brand as a sexual predator. And he highlights the fact that, like, with Jimmy Savile, Jeffrey Epstein, these kind of cases, we wouldn't have known about these people if it wasn't for journalism. Which is quite an astonishing fact when you actually think about it. It was journalism that exposed these monsters. So is Russell Brand just the next monster that's been exposed? See, if you told me this about a couple of years ago about Russell Brand, I would have been like, seen that one coming. Fuck's sake, fucking wronging. Only in the past year, don't get me wrong, years ago, I used to just hate people I seen in the telly. Like, I just hated people. Russell Brand, he's the way he was. I fucking hated him. I read his book in the jail, I think it's his Bookie Wookie Wook or some shit like that. He's got a mad name like that. I read it, I was like, I wasn't sold on him, but I just read it because I was in the library, and when you're in the library in like jail, Berlin especially, you've only got a certain amount of time to get your books. So I can be I'm shite with multiple choice pretty much. I'm like, fuck, what do I go for? So I end up just grabbing it, like, I know him, grab it, and I read it. Then obviously as time went on in the past year, he's leaning into spirituality and talking about addiction and all that kind of stuff, and obviously the stuff he's saying about the elites. And I'm like, fucking hell, I'm really connecting with it. And I'm like, he's a man of the people, he's not afraid to speak out. So when I heard these allegations, I was like, fuck's sake, man. Come on, mate, what the fuck? And don't get me wrong, it's like, if these allegations are to be true, I hope he meets the long arm of the law and he's punished accordingly. He gets the maximum punishment, because if he's done this, he's a fucking wronging, and fuck him. That's the thing. But I wonder, can somebody be so calculated to, we talk about Andrew Tate, and I'm no defending Andrew Tate. He says a lot of great things about like discipline and hard work and that, aye. His views on women, a bit fucking mental. Don't really agree with him. But what happened with Andrew Tate is he got accused of sex trafficking, he got all these charges leveled against him, he spent 6 months in jail. He might still be in house arrest, or he's either just came off house arrest. One of the two. Anyway, has he been formally charged? I don't know if he's been formally charged or if he's gone to court. It's still early in the case of proceedings. He's not been at trial, he's not been convicted of that. So when he got to the jail, or when he was charged, whatever, that was his kind of defence that I've been set up by the Matrix. This is because I'm saying all this kind of stuff. You're like, right, okay. But me watching his interviews, and I understand things can be edited to look a certain way. Some of the stuff I watched, I don't know. To me, it wasn't so much what he said in the edit, it was how he says it. Like when he speaks about women, He speaks about how like, men can go with as many women as they want, women need to remain loyal to one man and that kind of stuff. And he strikes me as quite the controlling type. He strikes me as very insecure. Very, very insecure. Like, posting photos of these Lambos or these motors and that. And don't get me wrong, he's done very well. He's got a lot of money. And like, see these videos of where he's sparring the guy in his living room, but he's clearly better than the guy. Obviously, he's like so many times world champion, and he's sparring this fucking guy, this cunt in his living room, and he's battering the guy. You're like, what are you hoping to gain here by fighting somebody that you could clearly batter? And for me, that screams insecurity. He's overcompensating. You know what I'm talking about? You read into these things because deep down, he's not content with himself. And maybe that's the stuff that's happened in the past. He's suffered a lot of rejection. You see, there was actually quite a famous clip. It was on a show when he was very, very young. And he was rejected by this woman. And a lot of people were sharing that, saying, oh, this is where it all began and all that kind of thing. And that's possibly true. Because wasn't he the most handsome guy? And if he didn't have the money, or if he wasn't the person he is now, because he screams confidence and that's that loud, brash confidence, that way of his character. A lot of that's kind of telltale signs of insecurity, and that's why I think he needs to have control over women, or his women, so to speak. So I think to myself, like, if he's in a situation behind closed doors, off camera, with a woman that he's trying to control, and she's the type that doesn't want to be controlled, or in this instance, she's like, nah, you're not doing it. I wonder how he would act. What his reaction would be. Would it be aggressive? Personally, I think aye. To me, it looks, as I say, never met the guy. I'm basing this off what I've seen online. And don't get me wrong, I think a lot of the stuff he does, like podcasts, interviews and that, there's an act to it. It's that kind of controversy sells, is what I'm trying to say. But also, I feel it's not a complete act. I think it's aspects of his character that he's exaggerating. So, when he was charged, a lot of people, well, some people, I didn't really see it so much online, but some people in conversation that, they were like, do you know, think this is the perfect ploy? Like, if he was doing what he's accused of being doing, then saying all that stuff online about a matrix, about how they're out to get him, how he's going to get suicided and all that, it's like, surely he might have seen this coming. And he's a great chess player. So it's possible that was the case. He was calculated. But we look at Russell Brand. Because if we compare Russell Brand and Andrew Tate only really get big about in the past year. Really get big, like fucking blew up to the point of where he was fucking everywhere. I would say within the past year, that's when that kind of happened. Russell Brand started the kind of speaking out against the elite and all this kind of stuff probably within the past year and all. So, did the two of them have the same idea? Because surely Russell Brand wasn't able to look at what Andrew Tate was doing and go, oh, that's a good idea, I'm a fucking sex offender. This can act as a security blanket. If I ever have to face the music, I can say, look, I'm getting set up. The timelines don't really match up for him to be able to do that. So did he have the same idea as Andrew Tate? Maybe. And maybe, is there more people that's doing that? You know, it's like, if we compare Kevin Spacey, well, he went to court, he was acquitted and that kind of thing, but there was a fucking fuck ton of allegations against him. And don't get me wrong, when I watched House of Cards, I thought that was great before the accusations came out. And I watched him, when the accusations came out, he was in character. If you've seen the film and he was playing Frank Underwood and he was basically saying, I can't really remember the lines he was saying, but he was playing the character basically saying he'll be back and all that. And I watched it like, it's so fucking bit seedy. A bit weird. And I've read a lot about Kevin Spacey and that. And about these allegations, so to speak. And there's quite a lot. And it's like, is Hollywood just a fucking big cesspit of fucking sex offenders? Harvey Weinstein, you had Bill Cosby, you had Kevin Spacey, you had Russell Brand, you fucking fuck knows who else. It's like, and you remember, like, Hollywood is a seedy place. When you grow up, you're watching these Hollywood films, and Hollywood, it's like, that's the dreamland, that's the Babylon. But you hear of like Drew Barrymore being like fucking a child taking drugs in Hollywood. They'd be in rooms at parties and that, and naming fucking, was it River Phoenix and all them? Of mad fucking addicts at their children. And you're like, what the fuck? What is going on with these cunts? And it's like looking, I don't know why somebody's no made a fucking a series at this, or a film, or like, this is fucking a story in itself. Obviously, nobody's going to make a film about that because it's not going to get to Hollywood, because it's all about them. And it's all about the fucking, the seedy shit that's going on behind the scenes. But it's a fucked up thing. It's fucking mental. Why is it? Why do people not just enjoy acting or making music without having to touch cunts up? What is the fucking, why is it need to be both? Why don't just fucking be a creative? Surely, I don't know, it's like being in that upper echelon of fame. You're going to have that attention, but yet you still hear this shit. Or is it that thing where, because you're so famous, you develop a sense of entitlement? That ego thing where I am who I am, I'm this star, you'll give me what I want and when I want it. It's fucking mental. And as I say, if anybody is truly guilty of any of these accusations levied against them, I fucking hope they get punished severely for it. They should throw away the key, because we need less of these cunts on the fucking earth. Really? What I'm talking about, and it's right now, it's like fucking, you look at the percentage of like rape, sexual assaults and that, how many of them happen and how many actually result in convictions. And we're not even including the convictions that are false, because they do happen. I'm not saying that's a majority, that's a fucking obviously a minority, they do happen, but it's just like fucking, it's one of the most heinous crimes that can be committed, yet the police, for whatever reason, there's obviously many reasons in it with corroboration and one word against the other and that, man, but it just seems to be that the victim is also treated like a perpetrator as well. Like, it stops people speaking up and just let it be, that, and accepting it, and it's fucking no on. You've got these fucking wrongings that are just, they don't fear the law, they don't fear the repercussions, which they should. Because if we compare it, right, it's a comparison. I'm not trying to justify crimes here, right? If we look at somebody that ends up in a fight, two guys end up in a fight, one gets battered, guy's getting battered, pulls out a knife, stabs the other guy, kills him. Horrible, horrible, horrible outcome. One guy's lost his life, two guys have lost their life. One has died, and one's going to spend many, many years in prison. Families are affected, the trauma, the ripple effect of that trauma, it fucking expands. But if we look at that, right, it's like we can see, right, as much as we don't condone it, we can understand how that happened. Somebody could argue he was defending himself. Somebody would argue he was getting battered, this and that. He had a knife he shouldn't have. I'm sure the person that used that knife in this situation, this is just a hypothetical scenario, but this happens fucking all the time. Sure, that person regrets that. Fuck. It was just a moment of madness. They'd done it. Maybe they're not a killer. Because most people that are convicted of murder aren't killers. Now, understand when I say that, they have killed somebody. So yes, by definition, they are a killer. But deep down, they aren't murderers. That is not in their nature to kill somebody. It was nearly me. I was fucking so close. At one point when I was 17, I fucking done what I done. I was lucky. Both of us were lucky that somebody was obviously watching over that scenario and stopped that for fucking being fatal. Thank fuck. But I can understand there's people who's doing 15 years in the jail for stabbing somebody in the leg. And you think, if you're really out there to murder somebody, to take somebody's life, are you going to try and stab them in the leg? You know what I mean? So, if we look at these scenarios, right, because we see murder as the most heinous crime you can commit, and I'm not refuting that. If you've took somebody's life, then you've deserved, within the circumstances, if the circumstances show that you've taken somebody's life unlawfully, then jail's where you're going to go. That's fair enough. I can't argue with that. But we can look at factors that surround these things and go, right, there's mitigation here. There's maybe a bit of provocation here. There's reason. Not saying the reason was substantiated. The reason was just. But you can go, right, you've made a mistake. And you're paying for that mistake. There's no way out of it, but you made a fucking big mistake. I've never known of somebody to accidentally rape somebody. I've never really known anybody to rape somebody. I've never known them. What I mean, I don't know anybody personally who's done it. Thank fuck. I would unknow them after that. But to do something like that, or people who commit crimes against children, that's something in your nature. You don't accidentally touch up a fucking child or do these things. It's no fucking by accident. You know what I mean? There's something in you that wanted to do that. So how do we look at these crimes and say they're not as severe as other crimes that have elements of provocation or elements of reason? And don't get me wrong, I'm not saying when I talk about the comparison between people who's committed murders and that, I'm not saying in every circumstance there is reason. Some people are just fucked in the nut and they're savages. Like, I'm not talking about the people, I'm talking about probably the majority of people that have just never meant it. They made a mistake, and I'm not saying just because they made a mistake it's not their fault. It is their fault, but the outcome isn't what they desired. So how can we say these sexual offences aren't as serious? To me, they should fucking lock them up and throw away the key. It's like, I don't walk down the street and worry a guy's going to pull out a knife and murder me. Randomly. I don't need to be parrot to walk into a lane in case I'm going to get murdered, stabbed. Fuck it. Usually if I'm worried about getting stabbed or attacked, it's because there's a reason behind it. Know what I mean? But women walk about and worry. They can't walk home themselves. They can't walk about the town at night because there's predators out there. And they walk in groups. Get into taxis. Taxi driver could be a predator. You never know. See, so there's always that element of danger, and you don't know who's actually a fucking sex offender until they've fucking done the deed or attempted to. And I remember, this is how some of these cunts' fucking minds work. I used to work in it was called the PT Pass in Pullman. So basically you worked in the gym, like a gym orderly. And you would have sessions where the protections would come down, the sex offenders and protections. Usually I would just leave, I wouldn't stay in the gym, I'd go away. But on this instance, there was a gym inspection the next morning. So basically they would come down and inspect the cleanliness of the gym. So we would need to make sure the gym was clean. So we had to stay down and make sure and clean the gym the day before. And the protections came down, and I remember two of them were arguing, right? One was obviously a sex offender, and the other was a protection case. So what would happen was you'd get protections that are basically somebody maybe got a few enemies in the jail and he doesn't want to fight with him, he goes up to protection, or somebody ends up in debt with somebody else and they go to protection. So people can go to protection or they can be a grass and go to protection. There can be any number of reasons, right? If you're a sex offender, you just go there. So in that hall, you'll find that some of the protections, they don't associate with the sex offenders, or they limit association, like, because there's that part of them that still feels that kind of morality where what you've done is fucking wrong. I may be in the same hall as you, but you're a fucking wronging. So I remember there was a protection case in a sex offender, and they were arguing. And what the basis of the argument was, that the sex offender was arguing that he wasn't a sex offender because he was in for an attempted rape. He was in for an attempted rape. So he's like, I never raped her. It was only an attempt. Another guy was like, so fuck, you still done it? And it was like, that's when it kind of dawned on me. I'm like, it's strange. It's like, you think, even at that, to me, listening to that, that's fucking bewildering. And you listen to me telling that story is 100% true. You hearing that story is probably like, what? Some of these cunts think like that. What are you meant to do for that? I'll tell you today, fucking castrate the cunt. Then we'll do it again. And it's a fucking mental thing. It's a mad thing, and that's all you're hearing nowadays. But I suppose I would rather hear somebody being ousted these days than people keeping it quiet. So with the thing with Russell Brand is, as much as I'd love to believe it isn't true because of the stuff he's been saying, I connected with a lot of his stuff he used to say. And that, don't get me wrong, I would have said maybe I was a converted fan up until recently. No, it's like, I'm still kind of like that, right? I try to keep an open mind about it, but at the same time as well, if I'm going to sway, I'm not going to side with Russell Brand, because when you look at the evidence, there's some people you can look at, like, if we look at Mike Tyson, in his case, there was one incident where he was accused of rape, where he was at the height of his fame, he was in a very vulnerable position by people that were just trying to get money out of him. And you look at that and I'm like, right, there's a large possibility that was fabricated, same as Tupac. But when you've got multiple people, and I think in the case of he was getting a 16-year-old picked up and driven to his house for sex, and I think he's admitted this, and I'm like, right, even that, I think he's admitted this, and it's like, that alone is enough to be like, see you later, pal. So regardless of whether it's the sexual allegations are true, which there is a few of them, and apparently they've came from multiple sources, and you've got a lot of stuff where when he was at Channel 4 and he was on the radio and that kind of thing, where there was allegations and that brought forward, but they weren't investigated. There's a whole load of shit. So on that note, if it's true, then hell mend him. He deserves to get every punishment given to him. And that's for any cunt that is guilty of doing this kind of thing. But I hope the truth does come out. And rather than it's this kind of back and forth. But anyway, on to my next point. So I'll leave that one in. I've kind of said my piece on that. Recently, I had my first boxing exhibition. I had my first boxing match, aye. So that was Saturday as well, same night Russell Brand's fucking allegations came out, fuck's sake, man. But, so as good as if many have been following like my social media journey and that kind of thing, you see I had a fight. I've been sponsored by Kinnock Gym, based in Portland Street in Cessnock in Glasgow. I've been training in there, and basically I got offered a fight. It was under SK Promotions. He just said, do you want a fight? And I was like, fuck it, why not? I've always wanted a fight. I used to do boxing when I was like 15, 16. I was still in school. Done it for a year, and I always wanted a fight, but I never got one, and then I just ended up leaving it. And when I left it, it was always in the back of my mind, like, I fucking wish I went and got a fight. Wish I'd done that. And I was always in my head I wanted to do it. See, recently, the past 2 years, I've been that kind of way. I've been kicking about like a bear with a sore head. So I went, I couldn't fight. Ready for a fight? Pardon me. And you're only going to walk about primed for a fight for a certain amount of time before somebody takes you up on your offer. You walk about like that long enough, you're eventually going to bump into yourself. And as much as I'm fucking, because I was just full of rage and aggression and all that kind of stuff, man. And it was like, do I really want a fight in the street? I don't, because see me, I've got a violent charge in my previous, and anybody that understands the Scottish judicial system will understand that there's a thing called Section 23D. So if you get charged with an offence that is similar to a previous conviction, you're automatically refused bail. So effectively, if I get into a fight in the street, I'm going straight back to jail. I'm not getting bail. My arse isn't hitting the ground. And I don't want to go back to jail. And if anybody's thinking about going to jail and that, waste of time. You learn nothing. It'll be the worst experience of your life and you'll take fuck all from it. The only thing you'll take for it is not to come back to jail. So, avoid all that. Listen to me. Don't go to jail. So, when I get back into boxing, I was looking for a kind of physical challenge. Like, I've been doing bodybuilding since I was like fucking 14. And I've been doing it that long. It's like, it's got to a point, I've kind of achieved all my goals I wanted to achieve. The reason I got into bodybuilding, I get stabbed. I get stabbed when I was 14. I get stabbed like 3 times in the fucking arm off an older cunt. And my brother started taking me to the gym. So when I was 17, I got 4.5 years for an attempted murder. That's when I was like, right. I realised I had like 3 years I had to serve out of that in Poland. And I was like, right. When I get out of here, I want to have something to show for this. So I'm going to hit the gym. I want to go fucking packing. This big fucking sidewalk cracking motherfucker, as CT Fletcher would say. So that was it. I just started having the gym. I was dedicated, got a job in the gym and that. I fucking smashed it. I did get out a good size, but I developed this kind of passion for it. So when I get released for that sentence in 2013, I was 20. I immediately got a gym membership, and that was me in there. I was like 2 hours a day and all that. Went on the steroids, done steroids, jags, fucking jagging my shoulders and all that, jagging my biceps, taking tablets and all that. I was fucking that. That's the thing you realise about me. I am an extremist in every way, shape and form. People talk about addiction, right? I was a drug addict for many, many years. I'm an addict in any capacity you wish to mention, because people go, I know, how am I still an addict? I'm not for drugs. I'm not a drug addict. I am an addict. I'm a passion addict. I'm a gym addict. I'm a fucking food addict. Anything that I can develop an interest in is an addiction. And I love that about me. I would never change it for the world, because a lot of people struggle to find motivation and consistency. I can find it. It's something that comes to me quite naturally. Don't get me wrong. It seems like they struggle, but I've got that part of my character where I can knuckle down and fucking get head first into something. So, as I say, with the bodybuilding that, I was just reaching a plateau. I was just going through the motions in the gym, and I was just like, I was struggling to maintain the motivation, because I was like, what am I doing this for? I've been big. Don't get me wrong, I go to the gym for my mental health, not my physical health. See, if it was all about physical health, I'd have fucking patched it long ago. Well, I go in for the mind, and it helps with creativity and that as well. It just helps clear up all the clutter and need. So I started when I was going to Kinnock, and I was doing like circuits, they do circuits and that kind of thing. The body weight exercises, you do sparring, you hit the bag and all that kind of stuff. Really fucking push you to your limit, push you past your limit. And I really enjoyed that. I enjoyed fucking just getting pushed, a different challenge. I would leave it feeling elated, man. It was like, you left nothing in there. Well, you left everything in there, know what I mean? You came out with nothing because you put in fucking untold work into it. So I started enjoying that, and as I started getting into cardio and that kind of thing, and I started really enjoying the cardio more. So I got offered a fight with Kinnock, and I was like, fuck it, why not? And as I was training for it, I started getting into the sparring. And see, when I'd done the sparring at first, I sparred years ago, so it'd been a while since I've really been in a fight. So the sparring was good. Sparring is a great humbler, because you can be fucking amazing on it. You can be Floyd Mayweather / Mike Tyson / Roy Jones Jr. on the bag. You jump in the ring, man, you're lucky if you're 10% as good in the ring as you're on the bag. Lucky, actually, if you're lucky. It's just having that a thing where you're actually got somebody flinging punches back at you. You can hit a bag, take a break, you can fan it about. Somebody's coming at you, man. You've not got that time to do that. And plus, you've got that thing in your head. You've got that element of danger. You've not got an element of danger to the same degree when you're doing a bench press or a squat. I mean, we've got somebody coming at you, man. You need to be on form. So the first few sparring sessions, they were very humbling because I was like, fuck. Thank fuck I never got in a fight in the street because I would have get fucking leathered. But that was good. It was great. It was good getting in there, man. And just because not everybody gets to experience that element of danger and that when you go in, you actually fight somebody and it's in a controlled environment. I mean, you can learn about yourself. You can learn about what you can put out and all that, man. It's fucking a really great thing. Don't get me wrong, getting punched in the head isn't a great thing. So that's when I kind of was like, you know what, I don't know if I'm going to make a thing of this. Because I was getting punched in the head, I'm the kind of person, right, I can hit somebody just normal. I've not really got the same motivation to fight until somebody punches me in the face. As soon as somebody hits me, all bets are off. Somebody hits me once, I hit them twice. 1 for 2 back, man, jail rules, you know what I mean? But, that's what I'm like, man, so... And that's not really sustainable in the boxing world. You need to get punched before you fight. You know what I mean? Maybe you get a good punch and get fucking rocked, which happened a few times. So, I got into it. I was getting punched in the head and fucking... That's the thing as well. See, my nose. This is people talk about my nose, right? So when I get punched in the nose, my teeth become sensitive. Like, see, like after sparring, see if I blow my nose, my teeth feel like they're about to fly out. I don't know why. Everybody I say to is like, I don't know if it's a fucking nerve or some fucking shit. Maybe my nose is just fucked, which it is. So I was kind of like quite soon in the sparring, like, you know what? I think I'm going to be one and done. I think I'll just do the one. But the way I looked at it, usually I would look at things like in terms of a fight, like, right, I'll do this one, then I'll do another one, then get a few and I'll be knocking cunts out. Sorry, just need to make sure that's all right. And I was like, we're fucking knocking cunts out. And then that's when I kind of realised, listen, mate, you can't ride 2 horses with one arse. Fucking slow it down. Just don't think past this fight. Treat it like your last. And that's what they say, a lot of boxers, you need to treat every fight like your last. So what I did, I just knuckled down, trained like fuck, ate decent, still had the odd cheat meal now. I wasn't eating like a pure monk, but I ate well. And Dana called water, going up to the fucking camp. She's going to wait down to Dilryan, jumping in fucking waterfalls and all that. And the week of the fight, I was fucking knocking my work. I work in a student accommodation. And every month they get like 20 Domino's pizzas. So they put on events for the students and they'll get pizzas in. But usually, because I work in the office, we get a couple of pizzas for ourselves. And got Domino's pizzas and I was like, no chance. Fish and rice. I was fucking raging. But I was like, it was something about that. See if anybody's ever done any form of combat sports at all when you've been training for something like that, or even dying, see when you're knocking back stuff like that. That feeling just when you know you're taking the hard option. I mean, you're knocking something back, you're delaying gratification. There's no better feeling. So I was training like fuck. I wasn't missing a gym session, man. I was and a lot of it was, I was developing that mental fortitude when I was like, right, I was getting in my head with it. Meditating and all that, fucking doing that visualisation and all that. By the time I got to the fight on Saturday, I was ready for a war. I was ready to go into the battle, man. I was like, it's because that's the kind of mindset you need to get in, because at the end of the day, the person you're getting in with there, as much as it's about 3 2-minute rounds, where it's all fellow gyms, everybody knows each other, in there, man, somebody's got to try and hurt you. So I'm a fuck getting battered in front of a room full of people. So, when I got to the fight day, I was fucking ready. All the preparation had been done, and that's what they say, like Nico Carrillo had in the podcast previously, he says the fight is won weeks before you step in the ring, through this discipline, the sacrifice, the exercise, the diet. So when you're going in there, you're ready. And I totally understood that. Obviously he's at a level that's fucking miles above mine, but it's still the same kind of same focus, kind of same mindset, kind of same attitude, know what I mean? Because it's like when you do, obviously there's nerves, because for me, every time I've been in a fight, it's been fight, arguing with somebody, or whatever's happened. Never been in a fight where I've had 6 weeks or fucking a few months to prepare for it, because it's in your head, all these scenarios and possibilities. So There is nerves, but I don't really class them as nerves. I identify them as excitement.
We must interrupt this podcast for a breaking announcement. There has been numerous reports in the area of a beauty bomb ready to glow up. And it's going to blow away you beauty therapists one appointment at a time. Why? Do you conduct business correspondence with clients via DMs? Are you sick of late cancellations costing you money? Do you just wish you could provide your service without worrying if the client has the cash at hand?
Oh, I need to go to the bank.
Well, I have a solution to your confusion. Glow Out is a service that aims to alleviate the stress involved between a client and the technician booking their appointments. Glow Out makes it easy for clients to see appointments, to book them and to pay. It takes deposits and it gets late cancellation fees, which means you won't lose out on any money. Clients can pay by card or using Apple Pay. Glow Out is also partnered with payment processor Stripe. Glow Out also helps you manage your bookings easily by using your calendar. The busier you get, the more stressful it is to keep track of who you've actually got coming in and when. Glow Out will help you do that. On Glow Out, you'll also be able to show off your portfolio, showing off your previous work so clients can check out what you've done in the past. It will also be implementing a feature in the very, very near to be future which will connect to your Instagram profile page. You will also be featured on the Glow Out website. You'll be visible to potential clients in the local area. You'll also have access to your own admin panel where you can see your account balance, generate reports, and turn your hobby into a business. Glow Out is basically a Just Eat for beauty appointments. Can't beat the convenience, can you? The mobile app for iOS and Android is coming soon. But in the meantime, for $5.99 a month, you will have access to all these features. But if you sign up using Fivo promo code, you will get the first 3 months free. You can't lack that for a bargain, can you? Give your business the glow up. It needs to blow up. And glow up before you glow out.
So I class nerves as excitement. I used to get that, and see if you class it as nerves, you get nervous. You class it excitement, it's energy. And you can use that energy to help the performance. A book I was reading, Diary of a CEO. Get this fucking book. You want to achieve anything in life, whether it's business, whether it's passion, get this. This talks about it. Where stress is like your body's natural motivator. You think about it, back in like fucking the dawn of humanity, to fucking the caveman era, all the way through. When you used to hunt, you're hunting your food. That's stressful. It's the stress that motivates you to capture that kill. Because if you don't, you're going to starve. That fear. And that's the thing, that's how fear can be healthy. It's using your fear as a tool. Because if we use the kind of hunting analogy, you're stressed, you've not got food, you've got your family, you're going to die if you don't eat. Stress, fear. And you see, like fucking whatever the fuck you used to hunt back then, fucking pigs, whatever the fuck it was, something fast anyway, deer and shit like that. You would hunt it, it would try and get away, but you'd be motivated by fear. If I don't catch this, I might die, I might starve to death. And it's the stress that helps fuel you, even though you're starving, you've got fuck all energy in it. It's that is your body's natural motivator. Don't get me wrong, fear can be used incorrectly and can be detrimental to performance, but it's learned to identify it. Like, when I had fear of that fight, and I did have fear, but fear, I was able to use that and motivate myself. Like, as I said, the discipline, the diet. Oh, I'm cutting out this pizza, because if I eat this pizza, that means I'm giving myself less chance of performing great on Saturday. That guy isn't doing this. It's doing shit that the opponent isn't doing. Jumping in a fucking waterfall at 7 in the morning, it's freezing cold, cunts in their bed. Like, he's training every day. I'm out there, I'm doing that extra mile. I'm doing that extra couple of reps, that extra round. Because he's not doing it. It's all a mindset thing. So that's what happens when you talk about when you get to the Saturday, you're primed, you're ready to fucking go, you're ready to fucking kill. And you're ready to die. Because that's the thing, it's like, if you want to knock somebody out, you need to be willing to be knocked out as well. Or accept the fact you can be knocked out. You know what I mean? It's a trade-off. It's not the fact that you need to get knocked out, it's just the fact you need to be willing to fight. You need to be willing. So as once you can open yourself up to that, the fear kind of dissipates as well, because it's like a fear of failure. That they talk about failure, like the higher your failure rate equates to the higher your success rate is. That applies to any area of your life, especially boxing. You need to hit to be getting hit, and understand the art of boxing is to hit, not be hit. But if you're not willing to be hit, and if you retreat, you're not likely to engage. Whereas if you go, right, he can hit me, I'm going to try and dodge it, but I can take a hit. Or I'll be willing to take a punch in order to get this combo or this hit in. That's where true success lies, or it can lie. So for me, I was getting in, I was primed, I was fucking ready for fucking war. So when I stepped in, I arrived at the venue, I found out that my opponent of the day had pulled out that morning. So I was like, alright, what does that mean? So they'd actually found me a replacement. But because it was a last minute replacement, it meant that the fight was now changed to an exhibition. What that meant was that there wouldn't be a winner declared, regardless of how the bout went. So fair play, this guy stepped in. I think I was like 10 kilo heavier than him and like a wee bit taller than him. So already I had an advantage. And they told me before it, like, listen, you're better than the guy, just take it easy. So I went in like, fair dues, man. And but I still prepped. So I was like, I'm not giving this guy any second chances, because that's what they say, take it easy, then you go in, he tries to knock your head off. But no, then they says to us, I thought, like, listen, just don't fucking demolish the guy. And I went in, man, and fair play to the guy came out swinging. And I just took my time, man. That was the thing, it was about having fun, because it's how you re-identify these things. It's like, for me, I could have looked at it as a negative thing, because usually I'm like, I just get this out of the way, get it done, then it's done. But no, enjoy the moment, savour it. Because as I say, I don't know when I might fight again, if I might fight again. So I've been enjoying that moment, man. And once you learn to re-identify it, look, it's fun. Have a bit of fun. That's when you open yourself up to much more positive energy to flood into it. So I went in, I done exactly what I'd been training today, just took my time, because in there you gas out fucking quite quickly. I did anyway. Because all the weight I've got on me, because the more muscles, the bigger muscles you've got, the more oxygen you need to draw into them, man. So you can fucking gas out quicker. If you look at Paulo Costa in UFC, a prime example. So I went in, took my time, man. Fucking jabbed away. I had that jab advantage, so that worked a treat. But a few times he caught me, and I was like, right, as soon as he caught me, I'm like, alright, you're getting it back. So we fought. It was a decent enough fight. I definitely took the fight without a shadow of a doubt. Near the end up with a bit of a black eye in that. And then the fight came to an end, and obviously it would get declared like a draw as such, which was fine, which was good. It took the pressure off as well. So it was good for a first fight, man. But I enjoyed it, man. It was great. Then it was after it came out, going and getting a shower, sitting watching the rest of the boxing. It was great, man, because boxing is a ball of anxiety. That's all it is. It's kind of like being on remand. It's kind of like, see, when you're on remand, anybody that's ever been on remand will understand this. When you're on remand, 1 minute you're like, fuck, I'm on remand, I'm in the jail, I'm going to get a cunt to a sentence, I'm fucked. Then the next minute you're like, wait, I might get out, but a chance will get out. And you don't know the outcome. And to be honest, you don't really get any control. So you're kind of fluctuating between these two mind states, and it's a bit of it's mental turmoil, that's what it is. But with boxing, when you're preparing for a fight, man, it's kind of, you're like, I'm going to smash this cunt, and then party's like, fucking, what if I get smashed? What if this cunt's a real gladiator? And it's kind of like that, and I suppose it's, in the boxing sense, you've got all the control, because you train, you eat, you diet, and that's what helps install that discipline. Because see, in the run-up last week, if I didn't have a fight and I got offered 3 Domino's pizzas, I would have ate 3 Domino's pizzas, no questions asked. But because I had that fight, I had that motivator, that fear, that allowed me to sustain discipline. And I had a great night after it, went out to the tune and that. I don't drink of that, man, so it was great. Shite being the designated driver, but it was great getting out, socialising, man, and driving in, getting a wee McDonald's and going, and just, it was bliss. It was great. Then I had a few days. That was Saturday night. This is now Wednesday. I'm back to work tonight. But I had a few days after, and I ate like a fucking Trojan, man. Oh my God, man. Fucking shit. Yesterday I had a Chinese and a pizza. I've just been eating shite, see, because I've been doing the discipline. Don't get me wrong, I'm back to the healthy eating today, man. Fuck that. I felt terrible the past few days. But what I really enjoyed most about the preparing for the fight was preparing for the fight. The discipline, the working out, the going and trying new things, the try to get better, perfecting your technique and that. That's what I enjoyed the most. And don't get me wrong, the fight went well. It was a great experience to have. But right now, I'm not in a rush to get back in. I'm not saying I'll never get back in. I'm definitely going to continue the training and try and get better. But it takes a lot of mental focus, the old boxing. It takes a lot of mental focus preparing for a fight. Because there was a lot of stuff. I was trying not to fucking spin too many plates at once there because I had to remain focused. But now I've got the fight done, I've got a few things. I've got a mockumentary planned that I want to get filmed. That's my next project. And that's what it's all about. It's always having these projects because I realise with that, Tyson Fury talks about it. See, the journey, it's all about the journey. The destination, it's not always what you think it's going to be. It's the journey's where it's at. So you need to enjoy the journey. That's what they say, a great saying, a great quote, I fucking love it. The man who enjoys walking will travel further than the man who enjoys the destination. And it's true. It's true when you enjoy the journey and you don't really focus on the destination. Set a destination, but don't get too hung up on it. Just enjoy the journey, man. You'll get a lot more out of it. And that's what I realised, like, even in the gym, when I would be in the gym doing a circuit and it would be an hour-long class, I'd be like, right, fucking can't wait till this is done, 45 minutes left, right, half an hour, come on, nearly there, 15 minutes, it's like, you're working towards the finish. That time's always going to come. The finish line isn't going to disappear. Finish line's going to be there, especially when you're time restricted. But see, if I enjoy that hour, if I use that hour, I'm going to get, like, that time, 7 o'clock is always going to, whatever fucking time the class finishes, that time's always going to come. There's nothing going to stop that or get in the way. Time's not going to stop. But if I focus on getting the best out of this session, just focus on the bag in front of me, the exercise I'm doing, whatever, then I'll get the best out of this session. And that's when I realised it's like focus on the task in front of you. Just get the best out of that task. Don't fucking worry about, I need to do this by tomorrow, I need to get this done by this time. Fuck all that. Fuck time restrictions, man. Because if you restrict something, do you think restricting something is going to get the best out of it? I'm talking about. Why would you want to restrict potential? You want to exploit it. Expand it. You know what I'm talking about? So, I've learned that quite a lot. And see, there has been markers previously that has led me to this school of thought. But boxing, preparing for a fight, I've learned so much that I've been able to apply, as I say, following that journey, the discipline, and it's having that goal in mind, because having a goal allows you to stay on track. As if I don't have a goal, I fucking can go left or right. I've not got a destination. It's like driving a motor or riding a bike. You've got nowhere to go, you just fucking float about. You've got a destination. You're focused, man. So, off the back of that one fight, and see, SK Promotions, they're actually doing a thing. If you've got no boxing experience, they're doing a thing now for their next promotion. They'll take you in, they'll train you up, and you'll get a fight at the end of it. I fucking urge you to do it. Just try it. You're not going to die. You're not going to get brain damage. You're getting put in against somebody that's of similar ability to you. It's 3 2-minute rounds, 6 minutes, 6 fucking minutes. I've had longer wanks. Seriously. Try it. You'll learn so much about yourself. Don't just look at it as a boxing match. Look at it. What can you learn about yourself, or what can you develop in yourself? Because the potential, the unlocked potential in yourself, fucking worlds beyond what you think it is. You know what I mean? Just to end, it's all about self-belief. But even at that, self-belief is just a part. You don't need to be fully say, I believe I'm going to do this and do that and do this. Just be willing to believe. Willingness. Willingness is much easier than belief. Trust me. Just be willing to believe. Go like that. Fuck it, I'm going to try it. Fuck it. Fuck it used to be the bane of my life. Fuck it, I'll go and have a drink tonight. Fuck it, I'll just have a line of gear. Fuck it. And it used to fuck me up because I fucked it. No, redefining fuck it and making it work for you. Redefine it, make it positive. End of the day, one of these days you're gonna be dead. You've no control of that day. You can try your best. You can take all the potions, eat all the food, take all the fucking vitamins or the exercise, and you could do all that and get hit by a fucking bus tomorrow. Can happen to any of us. Know what I mean? Life isn't guaranteed, but death is. So, how do we redefine our attitude towards that? Live it like it's your last. It is your last, it's your only. This life isn't your last, it's the only one you've ever had, and the only one you ever will have. So, what do you want to do? Maybe boxing is your thing. Try something. Jiu-jitsu, golf, fucking anything. Try it. Just because you try something doesn't mean you need to sacrifice your fucking being for it. Or boxing, I had one fight there. Previously, I might have been like, oh, I could have been a boxer. Where would I be now? No, I've done it. I'm like, you know what? I don't fancy getting punched in the head and sparring. No saying I'll never do it again, but no, I mean, that's no fucking a long-term goal I want to pursue. Something that I enjoy. I've learned a lot from it. I've taken a lot from it, but I'm glad to have ticked it off and done it. Most likely will do it again, but there's no immediate plans to do it. But having done that is so much better. It's alleviated so much for me, and it's put a lot more things into clarity. Because now I'm like, right, what do I want to do? Because when I done the boxing training there, I was like, maybe I could just get back into the boxing and 31 just start smashing cunts. And then I'm like, you know what, that's a lot. It takes a lot. And fair play to anybody that is a boxer or any kind of combat sports. You need to be fucking mad for it, you need to be passionate, because you're giving away as well as getting a lot. And you're not even guaranteed. You're guaranteed to take all the damage, but you're not guaranteed to fucking reach the heights. And everybody wants to reach the top. So, I'm glad that I've done it. But now it's putting the focus. I want to create. I want to direct. I want to make stuff. That's what I want to do. So, it's redefined my focus. So, in my parting words of wisdom, and I hope you've taken a lot from this podcast. I've really enjoyed it. Right before now, I was like, fucking hell, I hope I can string out a fucking couple of sentences on this. I feel I've fucking talked quite well. What do you think? But have a serious think. Meditate my words. What is it that you've done in your life, or always wanted to do in your life, that you've put off? Because see, if there's a fucking element of your being that wanted to try something, try it. Try it. Just try it. You don't need to become it. Just try it. Do what I done. You know what I mean? When I was fucking 15, 16, I wanted to be a boxer, then fell away for it. And I always lived with that. Like, fucking, where would I be now if I still stuck at that? I'd probably have a lot less brain cells, which is fucking saying something. And I like my brain cells and my teeth. You know what I mean? I put them in equally good use, I'd say. So, I'll keep my brain cells and my teeth, but now I've ticked that off. It feels good. But have a wee think on it, man. And don't be afraid to pursue something, even if everybody else feels it's ridiculous. The only ridiculous thing is not pursuing something. I'll leave you in that, people. Like, subscribe, and don't get wide. Catchies.
Premeditated pattern.